I'm going to talk with you guys about something, and it's kind of serious. It's about a little bit of discrimination, and it affects about 50% of everyone in here. And I know what you guys might be thinking. Why do white men get discriminated against? And I'll tell you, we're not allowed around kids. And it's kind of weird, because most double standards, we usually get the good end of the stick. Now, if you take your kids to daycare, they're almost certainly run by women, right? Daycares run out of houses done by women. Would you guys trust your kids with a dude? Probably not. If you guys want to actually find this out, and find out how real this is, all you gotta do is just stand in a park. Just sit and wait. That's literally all I have to do. And eventually, one of those mothers will probably come up to you. Now, they'll probably start talking, and the odds are they're gonna ask you, oh, well, what kid's yours? I like to say, I haven't decided yet. And that scares the shit out of me. Now, I don't have kids, so I guess you guys can be thankful for that. But my best friend does have kids. He's got a 4-year-old boy and a 7-year-old girl. And I love them to death. I treat them like they're my own. But I'm not stupid. I would never take those kids into public. Are you fucking crazy? First of all, they're really young kids, so they're prone to temper tantrums. And one of my biggest fears in the world is that we could just be going along our day, and out of nowhere, they just throw a fit. And if they start screaming, "You're not my daddy! You're not my daddy!" well, what the fuck are you gonna do? You can't just be like, "Shut the fuck up!" Because my face on that Amber Alert is gonna travel much further and way faster than I ever hoped to. A lot of couples that I know are actually kind of starting to settle down now too. So that's a lot of a thing that's kind of going on with me. And a lot of the couples that are in long-term relationships, I'll often start out with getting pets. First step is getting a dog. And what I find is that almost every one of those couples will hear, well, that's just training steps for when you get a kid. And on the surface, it makes sense, because you're looking after an animal, a living being, that you have to train, you have to feed, you have to clean up its shit, you've got to do a lot of work for it. But that's a bullshit idea. And let me tell you why. Never in the history of pet ownership has anyone ever given their dog daddy issues. No pet owner has ever had to say, "Lily, get off that stage and back in your cage. Put your clothes on." That's just not a thing that happens. Another bullshit idea is the idea of male prostitution. This is just, yeah, that's a good segue, right? So I don't think that's a real idea. I mean, there are guys that do it, but the way that I see it is you're either Deuce Bigelow or you're banging dudes. Because there is no reason why any semi-attractive woman should feel that she has to pay for sex, right? Now, if you flip it around, at least guys, we kind of get what we pay for, right? We know that we're going to have a good time. But ladies, let me ask you this. When was the last time you got railed so good you felt the need to say, "Hold on, I need to give you money for that"? Oh, come on. If you didn't like that, you're really not going to like this. So, my best friend's kids, he's got a little girl, and she's 7 years old. And she's really rambunctious and she likes to play a lot. So, one time, she's sitting up on my shoulders, and we're just kind of wrestling. And have you ever had a little kid say something real dirty to you, but they don't realize it because they're a little kid? So she's sitting on my shoulders, and she says, "Uncle Joe, I'm gonna bang you." So I set her down, and my heart starts racing. And now I'm worried that I'm not allowed to be in the same room as her. So I looked at my buddy, because I need an adult to get me out of this situation. And we go to her and say, "Vanessa, what did you say?" And she goes, "I'm gonna bang you." Right in the eye. And I've never been more relieved to be hit in my life.
Okay, got it.
That's not the bad part. The bad part's coming up. So, she's also in a growing stage in her life. So, and I don't get to see her a whole lot, especially because she lives in Toronto now. And every time that I do, she likes to make a point of coming up to me and saying, Uncle Joe, I grew 3 inches since the last time I saw you. Like, it's a big fucking deal. Now, it's really hard to be cynical with a little kid, but just one time, I would love to say, you think that's impressive? Bitch, I grow 8 inches every morning. Thank you, guys.